All right, this is Doug from Olive Palm, South Carolina. To the aforementioned Mr. Miller, you have had A-list managers throughout your career. Your brother is an A-list manager. My prototype manager is E in Entourage. What do managers do? You know, managers you cannot bring out for years, but then you're in the kill zone on something, and you need a big stick, and you need somebody who can close. You might not use a manager for years, because it's not like you sit at their knee and go, I want to be whimsical, and yet are you die? And they touch you on the head. It's not like fucking the Socratic method or anything. But around every 3 or 4 years, there comes an opportunity where you can make a killing if you have a big stick. And there's no sense having a manager unless he's a big fucking stick. And I was with Brad Gray for a while, and he was... he's the head of a studio now, but when he was, and my manager now is Mark Gervitz, who always worked with Brad. Brad moved on to manage the studio, and I stayed with Gerv, only because, you know, he was in a different business at that point. But he was beautiful, man. In meetings, he would take your breath away, because he always had a nice suit and a good haircut and polished shoes. And I remember once at NBC, them treating me like a child over something, and we were there for like a minute and a half. And he didn't like the first thing. And he wasn't petulant. He was a nice guy, but he would sit there, and they made their pitch, and it was kind of not even a pitch. And he said, come on, Dennis. I'm thinking, what are we doing? We get up and walk out. He said, thank you for your time. We walk out. I'm walking down the hallway. All I can hear is Ennio Morricone's Good, Bad, and Ugly in my head. I go to Brad, what was that about? He said, they said nothing. There's no reason for us to stay. That was a jerk-off offer from Jerk-Offville, North Dakota. And then we ended up getting something done, I remember. But managers, think of them as a big... You ever see that exterminator that drives around your neighborhood with a guy in a top hat who's got that big fucking... Or, I'm just saying fuck that, pardon me. Big stick behind him, and he's talking to the rat, and he's about to stick it. That's your manager. Whomp! How did your brother get started in the game? My brother's a sharp cat. He bet Jim Carrey when he's not happening. And he rode Jim through, you know, they're still together. And I remember he called me and said, go see this Ace Ventura film Jim's in. It's great. All of a sudden, my brother's a player. But he has good taste. And he's honest. You know, Miller boys got their quirks, but relatively... Jimmy completely, me, I'll tell a white lie here and there. I love that dress. But not my wife's. I mean other people, if they ask me about their wife's gear, I'll say, beautiful. Even if I think, what the hell is she wearing? But my brother's honest. I remember Michael Douglas called me once from Venice. He was at the Venice Film Festival. He goes, I'm walking around with this bald guy all day thinking, how in the Christ do I know that voice? And I'm thinking, who's he calling? My brother Jimmy was over there at the Venice Film Festival. Michael said, I'm going up and down the canals. This guy's yipping and making me laugh. I'm thinking, how do I know that voice? All of a sudden, it's Dennis. I turn around and go, you're Dennis Miller's brother, he said. So we're kind of alike, except he's bald. Number 3. Enjoy these samples of the Bathrobe Sessions, a weekly video available only to members of the DMZ, the Dennis Miller Zone, on DennisMillerRadio.com.